Okay, I need to tell you something, and honestly, I've been waiting for the right moment to share this because I don't want you to miss what's about to happen. Tomorrow, Saturday, February 7th, there's a cosmic event unfolding that I genuinely believe could be one of the most financially and spiritually significant moments of this entire year, and I don't say that lightly. Here's the thing, most people are going to completely miss this. They'll wake up, go about their Saturday and have no idea that the universe just opened a vault for specific people. But if you're one of the 3 signs I'm about to reveal, or if you've been feeling this strange pull lately, like something big is coming but you can't quite put your finger on it, I really want you to stay with me on this one. Because what's happening tomorrow isn't just another planetary alignment. I think this is what astrologers call a jackpot signature. Mercury is activating Jupiter in a very specific way that creates a sudden release of opportunity, wealth, and life-changing information. And if you know how to work with this energy, I believe you could experience a breakthrough that changes everything. Now, if you've been receiving strange intuitive hits lately, like random ideas popping into your head that feel almost too good to be true, or if you've been having vivid dreams about money or opportunities, there's a very specific reason that's happening, and I'm going to break it down for you later in this video. But first, I need to explain why tomorrow is so crucial, because right now, as we speak, the energy is already building. And what I've learned about this particular alignment, it doesn't wait for you. It moves fast, and if you're not paying attention, it will pass you by before you even realize what happened. The universe is about to hand out blank checks, but only if you're listening. So let me explain what's actually happening astrologically, because this is where it gets really interesting. Tomorrow, at exactly 4:20 in the afternoon, Mercury in Pisces forms what's called a sesquiquadrate with Jupiter in Cancer. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but stay with me, because understanding this geometry is what separates the people who win from the people who wonder why they didn't. A sesquiquadrate is a 135-degree angle, and here's what I think most people don't realize about this aspect. It's not gentle, it's not a soft, lucky trine where things just fall in your lap. This is friction, this is dynamic tension. This is the universe creating an itch that you have to scratch. Does that make sense? It's the aspect of the trader who sees a market fluctuation and has to act in that split second. It's the geometry of execution. And when this aspect connects Mercury, the planet of information, messages and commerce, with Jupiter, the planet of expansion, abundance and wealth, something has to give. The pressure builds until there's a breakthrough. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Jupiter is in Cancer right now, which means it's exalted. I really want you to understand what that means. An exalted planet is like an honored guest in a palace. It has access to unlimited resources. Jupiter in Cancer is foundational wealth. We're talking real estate, family money, emotional security, the feeling of being truly at home in your abundance. This isn't just numbers on a screen. This is the mother lode. And Mercury. Mercury is in Pisces, where it's traditionally weak. It can't think straight, it can't analyze, but here's the beautiful part. In this configuration, Mercury's weakness is its strength. Because Mercury in Pisces doesn't receive winning information through spreadsheets or logic, it receives it through intuition, through dreams, through feelings, through those weird hunches that you can't explain but you know are true. So what we have tomorrow is this, a confused intuitive messenger, Mercury, being backed by a massively wealthy, generous host, Jupiter. It's like the universe is handing a blank check to a dreamer, and the sesquiquadrate is the moment that check gets cashed. The moon just turned everything on, and you're about to feel it. Now, here's what makes tomorrow even more specific. About 2 hours before Mercury and Jupiter connect, the moon moves into Scorpio. And if you've been feeling emotionally intense lately, restless, like something is brewing under the surface, this is why. The moon acts like a trigger in astrology. It's the minute hand on the cosmic clock, and when it enters Scorpio at 2 in the afternoon, it immediately connects with Mercury in Pisces through a trine. That's a flowing, supportive angle. Basically, the moon validates the intuition. It says, yes, that feeling you're having, trust it. And here's what I've been noticing, and honestly, I've been experiencing this myself. With the moon in Scorpio, there's this hunger, this emotional drive that won't be satisfied with surface-level stuff. Scorpio wants the real thing. It wants transformation. It wants other people's money. It wants the treasure that's been hidden. So what you have tomorrow is this perfect storm, the emotional trigger, Moon in Scorpio, the intuitive download, Mercury in Pisces, and the vault of abundance, Jupiter in Cancer, all connecting in a flowing circuit. This is what astrologers call a grand water trine energy. And if you're tuned into water, if you're emotional, intuitive, sensitive, you're going to feel this like electricity. The jackpot isn't accessed through rigid logic tomorrow. It's accessed through emotional intelligence, gut instinct, and the courage to act on something that doesn't make logical sense yet. Right? You've been getting the download already. You just didn't know what it was. Remember when I said if you've been getting strange intuitive hits lately, there's a reason. Okay, this is it. For the past week or so, you might have noticed something odd, random ideas popping into your head, sudden clarity about a situation that was confusing before. Or maybe you've been having these vivid dreams where you wake up and think, that felt important, but I don't know why. I don't think that's random. I think you're already receiving the transmission. Mercury in Pisces doesn't work on a schedule. It doesn't send you a formal memo. It whispers. It hints. It plants seeds in your subconscious while you're sleeping or spacing out. And here's what I really want you to pay attention to. These downloads often feel too good to be true. They feel unrealistic. You might get an idea for a business or an investment or a creative project, and your logical mind immediately goes, "That's ridiculous. That would never work." But that logical mind, that's not the one that wins the jackpot tomorrow. The winning information is hidden in symbols. It's poetic. It's coded. I've learned that Mercury in Pisces favors dreams, music, and synchronicities. So if you've been seeing repeating numbers, or if a song keeps playing with lyrics that feel like they're speaking directly to your situation, or if you keep running into the same person or concept over and over, that's the message trying to get through. Now, am I saying this is 100% guaranteed divine guidance? No, I can't say that for certain. But is it a coincidence that so many people are reporting the same intuitive intensity right before this exact alignment? That's for you to decide. And honestly, what I'm about to share next completely changed how I see this whole thing. The squirrel and the seed. This is the message. So I want to share something with you that I think is really profound. In astrology, there's this system called Sabian symbols. Basically, each degree of the zodiac has a symbolic image attached to it. And when I looked up the symbols for where Mercury and Jupiter are positioned tomorrow, my jaw literally dropped. Mercury at 2 degrees Pisces has this symbol, a squirrel hiding from hunters. Jupiter at 17 degrees Cancer has this symbol, the unfoldment of multi-level potentialities issuing from an original germ. Do you see what's happening here? The squirrel finds the seed. Mercury, the intuitive messenger, discovers Jupiter, the seed of infinite potential. And the message embedded in these symbols is so clear it's almost eerie. You have found something valuable. Now protect it, hide it, don't broadcast it to the hunters. This tells me that the jackpot tomorrow isn't necessarily a public win. It's not the lottery jackpot where everyone knows you won. I think it's a hidden treasure. It's an undervalued asset that others have missed. It's insider information that came to you through a dream or a conversation or a sudden realization, and if you're smart, you keep it quiet while it grows. The multi-level potentialities part, that confirms this isn't just a one-time cash infusion. Whatever you discover or realize or receive tomorrow has legs. It's a seed that will grow into something complex and sustaining. Maybe it's an idea that becomes a business. Maybe it's a connection that opens doors for years. Maybe it's an investment that compounds. But here's the key. You have to protect it during the germination phase. You can't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You can't tell everyone about it before it's strong enough to survive scrutiny. The squirrel knows this, and if you want to win, you need to know it too. Why Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio are the 3 signs that win big. Alright, so here's what everyone wants to know. Which signs are positioned to actually win from this energy? And based on the geometry, the elemental flow, and where these planets are sitting, 3 signs are absolutely primed for a breakthrough. Cancer, the Vault. If you're a Cancer, or you have strong Cancer placements, I really need you to hear this. Jupiter is in your sign right now, and not just in your sign, it's exalted. This is your emerald year. The wealth is literally sitting in your living room. The Mercury aspect tomorrow comes from your 9th house, the house of foreign connections, higher learning, expansion, so the message that changes your life. I think it's coming from far away. Maybe it's an international opportunity. Maybe it's someone from your past reaching out with a proposal. Maybe it's a spiritual or educational breakthrough that leads to money. And because Jupiter is retrograde in your sign, this win is connected to the past. It's a return on an old investment. It's a second chance at something you thought you missed. It's a legacy or inheritance energy. You're not creating something new from scratch. You're activating something that's been dormant. Here's what I believe. For Cancer, this is a direct infusion of abundance. You're the host. The jackpot is happening in your house. Your job is to recognize it when it shows up and trust that you deserve it. Pisces, the Oracle. If you're a Pisces, you're the messenger. Mercury is in your sign, which means you're the one receiving the intuitive download. You're the Oracle. You know things before they happen. You feel the answer before the question is asked. Jupiter is in your 5th house, the house of speculation, creativity, gambling, romance. This is literally the gambler's house. So if there was ever a time for you to take a calculated risk based on a gut feeling, it's tomorrow. Maybe you buy that lottery ticket. Maybe you invest in that wild idea. Maybe you say yes to a creative project that doesn't make logical sense but feels fated. The squirrel symbol applies directly to you. You're the one who needs to grab the nut and hide it. Your intuition is your currency. And here's what I really want you to remember. You might feel confused. You might not have the full plan. Mercury in Pisces never does. But the exalted Jupiter is backing you anyway. The universe is saying, you don't need to know how this works. Just trust that it will. Does that resonate? For Pisces, this is a speculator's jackpot. Act on the hunch. The logic will catch up later. Scorpio, the Executor. If you're a Scorpio, you're the trigger. The moon enters your sign tomorrow right before the aspect perfects. That's not a coincidence. You're the one who turns potential into power. You're the one who executes. The grand water trine connects your 1st house, Moon, 5th house, Mercury, and 9th house, Jupiter. This is a strategic victory. You win by acting decisively when others hesitate. You win by seeing an opportunity that others are too afraid or too polite to grab. This could be a foreign investment. This could be publishing something you've been sitting on. This could be a bold move in romance or creativity. The moon in your sign gives you the emotional authority to command this energy. You feel it in your body, and when you feel it, you move. What I've noticed about Scorpio placements is they don't need permission, they don't need consensus, they trust their instinct and they strike. And tomorrow, that instinct is being fed by the most abundant planet in the sky. If you've been wanting to make a power move, this is your moment. This isn't just about tomorrow, it's about what starts tomorrow. Okay, so here's something I think is really important to understand. The jackpot energy tomorrow isn't just a one-day event. This is a seed being planted. This is the beginning of something that unfolds over time. When you wake up on Sunday, February 8th, you might not have $1 million in your bank account. That's not usually how this works. But what you might have is clarity. You might have a connection. You might have an idea that won't leave you alone. You might have a message from someone that opens a door. And here's where it gets interesting. Jupiter is retrograde, which means this is about returning to something. Maybe it's an old dream you abandoned. Maybe it's a past relationship or business partnership that's being revived. Maybe it's wisdom from your lineage, something your grandparents knew or built that you're now inheriting in some way. The retrograde motion suggests the win is connected to memory, history, foundations. It's not a brand new lottery ticket. It's more like finding a winning ticket you forgot you bought. And I really believe the energy tomorrow is distributing resources to specific people for a specific reason. We're heading into some massive shifts this year. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries is coming. Uranus just went direct in Taurus. The universe is rearranging financial structures and dreams on a global scale, and I think the people who receive this jackpot energy are being resourced to build something in the new world that's emerging. So, if you get the download tomorrow, if you feel the call, if you receive the message, honor it. That's not random. You're being tapped for something. So how do you actually position yourself to win tomorrow? Alright, so here's what I think you need to understand about working with this energy. The message will not be shouted, it will be whispered. Mercury in Pisces doesn't come through loud and clear, it comes through soft and subtle. So if you wake up tomorrow with a random thought, or if you're in the shower and suddenly you know what you need to do, write it down. Don't dismiss it just because it seems small or strange. And pay attention to your dreams tomorrow night. Honestly, if you can, take a nap in the afternoon. I know that sounds weird, but the veil is thinnest when you're in that in-between state. The download might come when you're not actively looking for it. Some of my biggest breakthroughs have come right as I'm falling asleep or just waking up. That's when the logical mind quiets down and the intuitive mind can finally speak. Here's the other thing. If it feels right in your gut tomorrow, it is right, even if the data isn't there yet, even if other people think you're crazy. The moon in Scorpio is giving you that emotional authority. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. You just need to trust it. This is not the day to overthink. This is the day to feel and act. And when the insight comes, when the opportunity shows up, when the message arrives, keep it to yourself for now. Remember the squirrel. The hunters are out there. Not everyone needs to know what you're building or planning or investing in. Let it germinate in the dark. Let it get strong, and when it's ready, then you can bring it into the light. But tomorrow? Tomorrow is about gathering the nut and hiding it somewhere safe. Does that make sense? The other thing I want to mention is the urgency of this. The sesquiquadrate creates pressure. It creates a short window. This is not a think about it for 6 months energy. If an opportunity presents itself tomorrow, you might have a very short window to say yes. Be ready to move quickly. Have your resources lined up. Clear your schedule if you need to. Some of the biggest wins I've seen happen when people act on something that scares them a little bit. That adrenaline you feel, that's the sesquiquadrate. That's the friction that creates the breakthrough. What if you're not one of the 3 signs? You can still win. Now, I know some of you watching this aren't Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio, and you might be wondering, does this mean nothing happens for me? Absolutely not. Here's what I want you to understand. Everyone has all 12 signs in their chart, so even if you're a Gemini sun, you have a Cancer house somewhere, you have a Pisces house somewhere, you have a Scorpio house somewhere, and tomorrow's energy is activating those houses for you. If you want to get specific, look at where Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio fall in your natal chart. That's where the jackpot is showing up for you personally. Maybe Cancer is your 2nd house of money. Maybe Pisces is your 10th house of career. Maybe Scorpio is your 7th house of partnerships. The energy is universal. It's just that the water signs are feeling it most directly because this is their element. But everyone can tap into it if they're willing to work with intuition, emotion and flow rather than logic, control and force. And honestly, some of the most beautiful breakthroughs I've seen have come from people who weren't supposed to be affected by something but were paying attention anyway. The bigger picture, why this matters beyond money. Okay, so I want to end with this because I think it's important. Yes, we've been talking about jackpots and winning and money, and all of that is valid, but I don't think this energy is just about material wealth. I think the real jackpot is the message. It's the knowing, it's the clarity, it's the moment where something clicks and you finally understand what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And sometimes that's worth more than any amount of money. Jupiter in Cancer is about emotional security. It's about feeling at home in your own life. It's about building something that nourishes you at the deepest level. So if the message you receive tomorrow isn't buy this stock, but instead it's quit that job, or move to that city, or forgive that person, that's the jackpot too. Because the greatest wealth is alignment. It's waking up every day and feeling like you're in the right place, doing the right thing with the right people. And if tomorrow's energy gives you even a glimpse of that, if it shows you the path home, that's the real win. I've seen people chase money their whole lives and never feel rich, and I've seen people with very little money feel abundant every single day. The difference is alignment. The difference is trust. The difference is listening to that quiet voice that knows what you need, even when it doesn't make sense yet. So tomorrow, whether you win a literal jackpot or you just receive a message that changes the trajectory of your life, I think both are equally valuable. Both are blessings. Both are the universe saying, I see you, I've got you, here's what you need next. If you've made it this far, I really want to thank you. Tomorrow is a big day, I genuinely believe that, and I hope you feel equipped now to work with this energy, to watch for the signs, and to trust yourself when the message comes through. If this resonated with you, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know, and it lets me keep making content like this for you. Take care of yourself. Protect your energy, trust your gut, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.